Hey everyone, my name is Tony and welcome back to the channel. Today we're modeling an entire bedroom inside of SketchUp and also share a few tools that can speed things up. Let's dive in. So I've been working through this model on a couple of separate videos throughout the channel. We've built this kitchen on a separate video and we've worked through a few components as well. So in today's video, I'm going to focus on the bedroom and I'm going to share 6 important tips you can start using in your workflow. So be sure to watch till the very end. And because you already have this model, we'll simply update the link in the 3D warehouse so you can have access. So tip number 1 when you're modeling bedrooms is to start with the proper room dimensions because you want to start everything with accurate measurements. So anytime you model in SketchUp, you want to make sure that you are referencing real world dimensions. Now to get a sense of space of the entire room, I'm going to use the dimension tool to add the measurements to the plan. As you can see, it's a decent size large bedroom that fits a king size bed with a large closet and still has enough space for a few furnitures. Now from here we can start to extrude our walls up. To bring things up, I'm going to use push pull to extrude my walls up to be 8 or 9 feet. And a very quick tip here, once you set your first push pull to 9 feet, you can double click on the next face to repeat that command. So if I double click, the wall goes up 9 feet as well. Now when we're talking about proper dimension, this also applies to the door height. So I'm going to copy this edge and your typical door height can land somewhere around 80 inches, which is 6 feet 8 inches. And we can use push pull to close that gap and the eraser to get rid of the edges. And we can repeat that same workflow for the closet. So that would be the workflow if you were using SketchUp native tools, but obviously there are tools that can help you do this much faster. For example, you can use the SketchPlus wall tool. You can check the links in the description. And we're going to use the draw wall tool to create a standard wall. So activate the tool. We can set the width and the height. So this is going to be, let's just say 8 inches by 9 feet. Hit enter to activate. As you can see, the placement point right now is at the bottom center, and I'm going to press Ctrl to toggle between the placement point. So I'm going to start here, click, and now I can start to draw my wall. You can hold Shift to lock on inferencing, and we're just going to follow our floor plan. Once again, once I connect to the other wall, this is going to create a closed loop. So I'm going to continue with the wall for the closet. This is going to be 6 inches. As you can see, it also recognized the existing wall, but nonetheless, SketchPlus is much faster than using the SketchUp native tools. And now I can add my openings with the rectangle tool and the push pull to create my openings. So this is a very useful tool that can speed up that workflow. So the next tip is very important, and that is to block out the furnitures first, because at this stage it's a little bit too early to add too much detail and geometry into your model. So you want to box out the bed, box out the wardrobes, any cabinets and furnitures that are crucial to your model. This is going to help you to map out your layout, create the right proportions and circulation in the space. And once you have all of that figured out, you can replace or add details to these block of models. And at any point during modeling, it's important to organize your tags. You want to make sure each of your objects or groups of 3D objects are assigned to a specific tag so you can control the visibility. For example, because this is a small space, you don't need too many tags, but in case you want to control the visibility, this is a great place for you to do so. The next tip is a mistake I see beginners make quite often, and that is not using groups and components. And specifically, you want to avoid sticky geometry, and this is just one of those mistakes you really want to avoid. Every section of this model is separated by groups, and anything that is shown more than once is a component. For example, if we take a look at these floor-to-ceiling cabinets, you can see that there's 2 identical ones in the model, but if I click on it, you can tell that that is a component. And if you go even deeper, every one of these blocks that are meant to be a cabinet or that are meant to be individual furniture piece are also separated by group or components. So by editing one of these, I'll be editing multiples in my model. If you take a look at these boxes, these are meant to have their own unique design, and obviously this is a component. But this 3D shape here is a group because it doesn't appear elsewhere in my model. And when you structure your model that way, it becomes easier and faster to add details like this. Now the next tip is to add round corners. Usually beginners leave the walls and furnitures with razor sharp corners, and in the real world almost nothing is completely 90 degrees. So that's where an extension like Bevel comes in handy. If you want to check out Bevel, be sure to check the links in the description. And the first thing I'm going to do is make sure my settings are correct. You want to make sure the rounding is set to arc, and from here, because this is a component, it will affect a couple of other objects. I'm going to select these two edges, click, and I can specify the radius as well as the number of segments. So for something like this, I can do 1/2 inch with 6 segments, and it will give us something like this. Without deactivating the tool, I can use the up and down keys to increase the number of segments. So this could move to 8 to 10, but we're going to leave it at 6. Next, we're going to select this entire face and add a bevel as well. And this time we're going to do 1/4 inch with 6 segments. We're going to continue through the other objects. So again, select my entire object, activate bevel, and this is going to be 1/4 of an inch and 6 segments, and we end up with something like that. And to repeat the bevel, select your edges and then double click, and it will repeat the previous settings. As you can see, it's something that's very fast and convenient and just fits naturally into your workflow. And once you finish with this step, you should have something like this. And at this point, I'm also going to add base colors to my model so you can see how much of an impact round edges has to the 3D object. So we're getting pretty close to a finished model. This is where we're at with base colors applied to our 3D objects. But now it's about time we add textures to our model. And I'm about to show you 2 ways you can add textures to your SketchUp model. And what we can do here is press B to open the paint bucket, hold Alt to sample the material. First way is to simply go into Material Edit and click here to load a texture. And once you load your texture, you can scale by adjusting these 2 values. I can change this to 3 feet, and I'm going to select the material again and take down the saturation so it's completely grayscale. The second way to add textures is to simply drag it to your model. So you want to find that texture wherever it may be in your computer, and you simply click and drag it into your model. Once you've brought that texture in, you can scale it using the scale tool, and X to explode. And once that is done, you want to do one more simple step. Right click, go into textures, and deselect projected. Now from here, sample that texture. Now you can go into your model and apply that wherever you need. And if you're looking for a faster way to apply materials, SketchPlus has a tool called Deep Paint Faces that allows you to apply materials outside of the nested objects. As an example, I can sample this carpet and apply it right to that face. I can take this color and apply it to the floor without going into the group. And this is a much faster way for you to get this done, especially if you have a lot of materials to change, rather than going inside the groups and applying them directly. And by following those 2 simple steps to add textures to your model, you can get your model from this to this. And now we're just about ready for our final step. So the next step is to import high quality 3D models. I've had this bed pretty empty for the most part of the video, so now it's time to populate our scene. And I already have the perfect 3D model to bring in. This is going to be from 3D Sky. As you can see, it's a total of 55 megabytes, and this is the perfect model to bring in to our scene. We can just get rid of that bed frame and use the mattress and the pillows. And with Skimp, we can easily import that into SketchUp. So select import model, select your model. Now the model looks like this because the simplicity settings all the way at 8%. This helps you to reduce the mesh without losing quality, but this is a little bit too low, so I'm going to bring this at around 50%, and you can see how good this actually looks. Now before we import, let's switch the model unit to inches, which will bring the model close to what we're working with in SketchUp. And with those two tweaks, I'm going to import my model. And one advantage of using Skimp, you can bring in models like this and your SketchUp file will still respond pretty fast. So let's reposition this by the bed frame. Let's also do a little bit of cleanup and get rid of this base. And after you clean up and scale, and now we can do something about the materials now. So if you want an in-depth tutorial on the replace texture tool, I'll leave a link in the description. But for now, we're going to use it to load a new texture to our model. So activate the tool. We're going to hold Control to load a new texture. So you want to find the maps that came with the model and select to load them into SketchUp. And that's how you bring in existing textures in your model with Skimp. Now the model did come with some extra textures, and that's what I've brought into the file. So we're going to repeat this workflow with a couple of other high quality objects in our scene, and you should have something like this. So I hope the tips in this video make things easier for you in your next SketchUp model. And that's gonna be all for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this entire workflow for modeling a bedroom. Don't forget to check the link to download this free model, and for any extensions that we use, the links will be in the description. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.